Hello and welcome to Total Health with Dr. Nick, where my purpose is to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live longer, healthier, and more abundant lives. And today I want to talk to you about why olive oil is so amazing for your heart. And I love this one because being Italian, being a Mediterranean, I'm all about olive oil. So I was so happy to do this one, so glad to research this one because I tell you what, it hits close to home for me. So anyway, before we get started, I want to give out a little shout out again because you guys have been so amazing with your testimonials, and I want to make sure that we give you the credit where credit is due. So anyway, I'm going to read this one really quick, and this one comes from Carmen. Carmen, you are a rock star. And all I have to say is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. You're helping me so much. I'm down 55 pounds doing keto. That is amazing. I am overcoming health battles I never thought I would. God bless you and keep up the great work. You are making a difference. And no, you know what, Carmen? You are making a difference because I'll tell you why. There's a little thing called the butterfly effect, and that states that everything you do, every choice you make, is going to ripple into other people's lives. And you are making a big difference because when you choose to live a healthier lifestyle, eat healthy, live healthy the way God created you to be, then you're doing kingdom work. And you're doing everything possible to help spread that message to other people. But not only that, you're now there for other people. You're creating health and wellness and setting examples for future generations. And now you're going to be there for them because so many of us, unfortunately, we don't live our full life out, and we don't realize just the choices that we make are going to ripple into other people. And there's a lot of people who are sad about that, and so you are making a huge difference. So thank you so much for all you do, and God bless you. Anyway, let's get started. A study done and published in the Journal of Circulation of nearly 300 people at risk for heart disease found this. Researchers found that having high levels of HDL may not be enough to make your heart healthy. Well, we're always taught to believe that HDL is great. You keep that high, it's going to protect the heart. But you know what? That wasn't all. You have to do other things too. And what they're finding out is that the Mediterranean diet may help HDL to work even more effectively. So what's about that? Let's talk about the study. Well, what they did is they split people into two groups. One group was a low-fat group, so non-keto, low-fat, fruits and vegetables, very little red meat. The other group was the Mediterranean diet. Love the Mediterranean diet too. Anyway, so with the Mediterranean diet, they were split into two groups. One group enriched with olive oil. The other group, more nuts. Okay, no, they weren't nuts, but they had nuts in their food. It was a lot more nuts. The other one was more enriched with the olive oil. And this is what they found. It was pretty amazing. When they checked the cholesterol a year later, researchers compared the blood cholesterol levels of the participants to their starting levels. They found that the only people who ate the low-fat, non-Mediterranean diet actually lowered their total cholesterol, which we would expect, but that the people eating the two Mediterranean diets, whether it be the ones eating more nuts or the ones who had more olive oil, actually made their HDL work even better. All right, so that's a big thing. So, recap. The group that had low-fat, fruits and vegetables, very little red meat, well, they lowered their total cholesterol, which we would expect. They're not taking hardly any cholesterol in, but even though your body makes cholesterol, so know that. Your liver makes about 80% of your cholesterol. But the group that was the Mediterranean diet group, whether they had nuts or more olive oil, enriched with olive oil, they had better working HDL, and that was the key. So what we find is this. The group that ate the diet higher in olive oil showed the most improvement in HDL function. Their HDL was better able to remove LDL from heart blood vessels walls and shunt them to the liver for removal. Now, one thing that's important to know about HDL, and I talk about this in one of my videos about the cholesterol myth, is that HDL is important, but so is LDL. So I want to get that through. You have to understand that LDL is not the bad guy, okay? So high-density lipoproteins, HDL, does go around and take out all the cholesterol from the blood vessels and the arteries and brings it back. Why does it do that? Because cholesterol is so important and so prized to the body. In fact, your brain is made up of 60% fat. 25% of all the cholesterol in your body is in your brain, okay? So we're not all fatheads for a bad reason. We're fatheads for a good reason. Anyway, So the LDL cholesterol, we think that's all bad, but the LDL cholesterol is actually the one that's used to make hormones, and that's very, very important. It's what we do to LDL cholesterol that makes it bad, because we have such diets that are higher in refined carbohydrates, it's the sugars that create the LDL cholesterol to go bad. But overall, I want to stress this again, LDL cholesterol is not bad. It's not bad for you. It's what we do to it. It was also better able to work as an antioxidant, which what most people don't realize. Olive oil can act as an antioxidant. And by the way, so does cholesterol too. Protecting us against the inflammation-related damage that can weaken blood vessels and make them more vulnerable to heart attack triggering plaques. So, once again, olive oil was extremely beneficial at helping the blood vessels actually work better and protecting against these plaques. What else? HDL in this group was also better able to keep the blood vessels elastic and pliable. This is important since hardening of the arteries are more susceptible to damage. Well, there you go. So it turns out that olive oil also helps the walls of the arteries to be more elastic, and that's what we want. Think about this. If your blood pressure goes up and your doctor's giving you a blood pressure medication, why is he giving it to you? Just to lower it down, to get into some fictitious number range of 120 over 80, that's supposed to be the 12th commandment, that thou shalt have a blood pressure of 120 over 80? That is an average blood pressure, guys. That's not normal blood pressure. Your normal blood pressure may be lower than that, so should we raise it up? Your blood pressure normally might be 132 over 78. That's normal for you. So it's important to realize that your blood pressure is what it is. Now, all of a sudden, if your blood pressure was in that range and it's 200, that's different. But what's important to understand is that as your blood vessels become more harder, okay, less elastic and more rigid, your body has to pump harder. Your heart has to pump harder to get it through your body's blood vessels to all the parts of your body. If your doctor then lowers your blood pressure with a fictitious, reason and with a medication, all he's doing is making you to where your blood pressure is too low. Your heart is trying to pump harder to get the blood out through these vessels that are rigid, and instead you go to stand up and you pass out because your blood pressure is not high enough. Your heart's working, but yet it cannot get the blood out to those areas. So it's very important these areas, these blood vessels stay more elastic, and that's what olive oil does. Not only that, and this is according to the director of this study in Madrid, Spain, Montserrat Fito, our hypothesis is that all the antioxidant compounds in olive oil bind to the HDL particle and preserve it from oxidative stress, and that it maintains the HDL in better quality. One thing that's important to understand is that cholesterol oxidizes, and when it oxidizes, that's when it becomes bad. Well, how does it oxidize? One of the ways it oxidizes is because of things like our SAD, or standard American diet. Too many processed refined carbs cause the cholesterol to go bad. So LDL, which is normally a good cholesterol used to make hormones, it actually goes bad because of our bad standard American diet. So it's not cholesterol's fault. But anyway, another great reason to be Mediterranean, eat the Mediterranean diet, also to get more olives, get more, this great oil and olives into your diet. Anyway, so I hope this is great information for you. If it was, make sure you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe. And thanks so much for your testimonials. I really appreciate it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching me today. This is Dr. Nick. God bless. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.